Okay, cool. So I was just over on TikTok trying to do a live stream that we had scheduled between me and Luke Pearsall. Oh, he just joined, so let's get him on here. How do I do that? That's the real question. Um, oh, there we go. View request. Go live with me. Let's see if that works. Well,
Oh,
hey,
oh,
look at you go. I'm not technically challenged, I promise.
that was a lot of technology in a short period of time.
It should not be that difficult.
I don't
Uh,
know why they don't allow people that don't have 1,000 followers. I guess
oh,
because 1,000 followers is not really like hard to obtain on.
I guess. I don't know. It's very silly. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of lag. I'm just going to do dance until it catches up. Oh, no. Is it working again? Nope. Oh, we lost you. All right. We'll get him back. Hey, Gene. Hey, everybody that joined. Look at all the waves. What is going on? We're going to get Luke back. But basically, Luke and I are intending, if we can get our act together. Oh, Colorado Trail. Okay, he's back. We're going to see if we can let him back in, and we'll go from there. Uh, is this what happens when you turn 30? You just lose your ability to do these things? Must be it. Hey, look at okay, okay.
Yeah,
This is it, right?
technology is hard.
It's hard. What do you do?
What's going on?
Yeah, well, thanks for, being flexible and hopping platforms and coming to hang out.
I don't even know what platform I'm on anymore.
I know, right? Whatever.
Yeah,
We'll just pretend we're on FaceTime, then it doesn't matter at all.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No one's watching.
Yeah, no, no. 21 people. What are you going to do? Uh,
23. If we get to 50, something's going to happen.
yeah, something. I don't know what.
I'll have to give something away.
Oh, I got
I have $3 left in this Mike Subs gift
oh,
card. That could be going
nice,
to you.
nice. Cool. All right.
So, wow, look at that. Is that a vape? Is that a vape
Oh,
pen in
no,
your hand?
pen. It's for writing.
Hmm. Okay.
Just the,
I thought we were having a FaceTime vape sesh.
oh, yeah. No, no.
Straight up to the trail, young lady.
Yeah. This is not a safety.
Um, yeah, yeah. Wow. So I don't know who's here, if they're your people or my people or a combination of people, but so wonderful to have everyone.
Totally. Yeah, I've never done one of these on Instagram before, so this is pretty fun. I know you've gone live a hand like quite a few times. You used to go on.
Yeah, yeah, we used to do the Tuesdays at 2 show, me and
Yeah.
Jeff.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
noticed Jeff follows you when I was getting
He
signed
does.
up.
Yeah.
As of today,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow, he must have known we were going live.
Right. I think he followed me after you posted we're gonna go live. So
Yeah, no, he knows. I talk to Jeff for like 3 hours every day.
yeah, exactly.
We take walks together, except just
Nice.
on the phone.
Nice.
Yeah,
That sounds
he's generally much faster. The other night I was talking to him, and he did 7,000 feet of elevation gain in like 3.5 miles,
no, no.
and he talked the whole time.
No, he
Like it
did
was,
not.
yeah, it was like I can't walk up the steps and not get winded.
No, exactly. Ridiculous.
Yeah, he talked the whole
And
time like it
you're
was nothing.
in Colorado, like I'm over here in Vancouver at sea level, so yeah,
Yeah,
no.
I think he was doing it. He was doing it in Bozeman at this. He trains on this hill every night.
Mm.
Yeah, after work.
Yeah, sometimes I think maybe I should be like that. And then
Well,
when
you're not trying to do what he does.
I no, I don't think I have any interest in like putting myself through that amount of pain.
No,
There's
no,
through
not at all.
then there's whatever that is, and they are two different games.
So let me ask you this.
Hmm.
You sort of had this little like quick rise to social media kind of notoriety.
Mm.
And in what would you say, like the past year? Because you started doing like PCT prep videos on TikTok, right?
Hmm.
And that sort of like I mean I knew you before then,
Hmm.
um, but it seems like that's where there was like a bit of a increase in.
Yeah, I posted like a dumb video of all the clothes I was gonna wear on trail, and it
Yeah,
got 1 million views on it, and I was like, oh shit! Like just out of nowhere, like I had like 400
yeah,
TikTok, and then all of a sudden I had like 30,000 people following me, and I was like, oh crap! Just was
yeah.
like
Now you
video,
have to continue to be entertaining.
and it wasn't even like a risque video. It's not. It's
Right,
just
right.
trail clothes. Like here's my
Yeah,
shoes.
yeah,
Here's
yeah,
my
yeah.
yeah. And then I reposted it because I was like, maybe it's just a fluke, and it got another million and like 1.1 million views, and I was like, oh,
Whoa.
so
Wait,
people like what you're
so
wearing.
it's on there twice?
It's on there twice, so it did like 2.5 million views, which was out of control. I could not fathom that that many people would like to know what I wear on the trail.
Ju- Just as like, I mean, I've noticed it. I try to figure this stuff out all the time. So, like for me, I grew this really big Instagram audience like
Yeah,
7 years ago,
yeah.
and I have it has since kind of like leveled off. I used to shoot fashion photography in Los Angeles,
Hmm.
and it was right when like Instagram was blowing up, and I was one of the first photographers to sort of shoot all these girls that were becoming social media famous. So like my incline was like very steep at that point. And then when I decided like that kind of content wasn't for me anymore, and I only wanted to post outdoor content, it went like.
Yeah.
So it's been a bit of a like I don't know. There's like I had like 250,000 followers at one time or something like
Mhm.
that. And then so like after that, like all the people that were just there for like girls in their underwear, you know, fell off, right?
Yeah.
So now we're entertaining the world in different ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
What dirty, smelly clothes do I wear on the trail?
yeah, no, I mean,
Number,
it's amazing, really.
yeah, the number of people who were so mad that I was not wearing pants, though, it was like every other comment, where are your pants? This girl doesn't have any
Really?
pants. Guy, she's not wearing pants. And I was like, oh my God,
Why
y'all
would
need,
people care if you're wearing pants or not?
I, I have no idea. Oh, I think it's just like that traditional outdoor sort of
Oh, they
mentality.
want you to look like you're on an REI ad and like,
Boots and the big pack, and then I show up with like a pair of shorts and a shirt. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go live in the woods for 4 months, and people were pressed. Like they're
that's
not
so strange to me. It's like not really like, it's like,
funny.
I mean, I get that, like, I don't know, it's the summertime. If your legs get wet, they get wet, you know?
Right. Like if it rains, it rains. Water dries. Cool thing with water, it dries, it evaporates.
Also, like, in the time you were on I mean, you must not have seen that much water, rain.
I mean, the PCT we had maybe 2 days of rain.
Yeah,
In Colorado, we had maybe 2 days of rain and 2 days of
yeah,
snow. So it was
yeah,
like
because you're
basically,
at the, you were at the end of the season on the Colorado Trail.
yeah, we just barely made it,
Yeah,
really.
I was like, when you said you were starting, I was like, ooh,
I know
trust
you
me.
were like, really? I'm like, yeah, 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 it's fine. We'll
Yeah,
fix.
not many people start at that time of year.
Not at
Good reason.
all. No, it was either that or go home, and that was not what we
Yeah,
were.
yeah. I mean,
Uh,
good call.
yeah, and I think Colorado had like a particularly late sort of beginning to winter, so it worked out perfectly. I don't know if it always starts that late, but I think it was,
No,
pushed it a little.
no.
I think there would have been worse weather a little earlier,
Yeah, like technically, like Denver didn't get snow until December this year, which is crazy.
Yeah, because I usually ski in Utah and they've had like terrible snow, so it's
Yeah,
just
I think it's changed a bit, quite a bit.
that's good.
Yeah, yeah. There's like probably 8 inches out there right now.
Nice. Yeah. So when did you Colorado Trail? It was during that like 2020 PCT.
2020 canceled the PCT.
Yeah.
Uh, was looking for like a local hike, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
And since I live like maybe 15 minutes from the trailhead, I figured about as local as it was going to get for me.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and we didn't know what the world was going to be like and all that jazz, but You know, was there wasn't a ton of people out there. There was a lot of people that were like me, you know, that had canceled the hike and were looking for something else. But like even in like the hostels and things like that, they weren't crowded or anything. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, off and on, I don't even know if I saw more than I'm 50 people the whole hike, like in terms of hikers, through hikers.
Yeah. Yeah, we were in the same boat. I mean, most of the people we ended on trail were all like Sobo transplants from BT. So we kind
Yeah.
of, and then anyone we saw, I'm like maybe a dozen people kind of through hiking. They're all going the other direction.
Hmm.
Like, oh, you're one of the PCTers. We're like, yep. How'd you know? Oh wait,
Right.
direction in September. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like what 2020 was too. Was there was a lot of people who had to cancel their hikes, and you know, like a lot of people who kind of were like didn't know what else to do because they
Right.
had set aside time and in their lives, and
Yep.
you know, uh, yeah, it was like a strange year to do something like that, but
So
you know, it's a quick hike too, though, relatively. You know,
you do it in a month or 6 weeks or yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was trying to figure out how many days. I didn't count days. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't like count how many days I'm out there, like how many animals I see. I just don't do it. It's
Yeah.
not on my. But I was trying to figure it out, like in my pictures today, and I don't know. We took some time off. We did like a side trip for
Hmm.
3 days and went to Black Canyon National Park because it was like someone's birthday and they just wanted to like get off trail and do something.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a couple days in there that we like double zero just because like there was
Why not?
everyone was just like you know last person to Durango wins, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Our little Sobo group was very much like that. Like none of us were in a hurry to get anywhere, which was great.
Yeah.
I guess for the Colorado Trail we were northbound, so we started Durango and then worked our way to Denver.
God, I don't think I would have liked that.
It was hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the first 20 mimiles out of
Yeah.
Durango,
You're just
you just have to
yeah.
go up to like 12,000 feet, and then you stay up there for like 3 weeks, and you're like,
Yeah.
holy.
Yeah. That's like a quick sort of like
Yeah, there's
incline up.
acclimatizing none of that. They're really just like,
Ooh. Yeah. You probably didn't get sick though, right? You didn't get altitude sickness.
there was like one day, maybe I'd say a week in, where I was like, oh, I really don't like feel well, but it was mostly because
Mhm.
it was very hot and it was like long water carry. It was
Yeah.
and I
I,
was like, I'm having a tough day. So but it turns out like all of us were just struggling that day. So we like
yeah.
4 o'clock and we all just like camped. We're like, cool, yep, we're just gonna stop, hang out, have a day. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I think that the day that I started, it was July 6th. That's the only thing I remember. It was like 114 degrees. It was the hottest day of the year.
awful.
It was awful. And I walked, I mean, like, you know, I was like out of shape from COVID and like sitting on the couch and just like straight to the couch of the Colorado Trail was like
Yep.
pretty nasty. But yeah, I was like day two. I got to the. I don't know if you stopped at the firehouse where they have a spigot to fill your waters.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I stopped there and I was like, I might need to go home. Like this is too hot.
Yeah.
And and that option was on the table because I was so close to Denver.
Right.
Like someone could have gotten in there in like an hour and
Yep.
a half. But I'm glad I didn't because I feel like it would have been a disjointed kind of trip.
Totally.
Should we answer these questions? There's some
Yeah.
questions.
You, so when I was out there, it was past the season where you guys get those thunderstorms basically every day. So
Yeah.
we didn't get any of that. Whereas like we were
Oof.
finishing the trail, and some of them were like traumatized from all of the thunderstorms. They were like, oh,
Yeah.
like I ran into this older group, like probably late 60s, I'd say, that they were doing it together, and she was like, "You don't have rain pants?" And I was like, "I have rain pants," and she's like, "You need rain pants." Like she was like,
Yeah.
she was afraid of the thunderstorms. Like they really kind of shook her up. Did you run into any of that at all?
Yeah. But not like a lot of other people experienced. I mean, really, like there's people that were like a day behind us and a day ahead of us that experienced it like completely different. That's how different the weather is there. I had like one day that was like very scary. I was hiking alone because the guys I was hiking with, like everybody, you know how it is, hikes at a different pace.
Yeah.
Um, but it was getting towards the end of the day, and we hadn't really picked a place out where we were going to meet. I just figured like I'd walk past them, eventually.
Yeah.
Um, and just like the sky just turned like dark, dark, dark.
Yeah.
And I I was walking through like what felt like Willy Wonka chocolate factory, like rain up to my knees, like
Dang.
just plummeting down. Um, and I had to I went off into the bushes somewhere right before we got into the alpine area, and like right above, like right below tree line, and it was horrible, horrible. Like lightning cracking everywhere, the hair standing up on your arms. Like
Okay, yeah.
I was soaked. Like set up my tent, and like here's the weirdest thing, and it's my weirdest thing from the whole trail. I was like trying to like stay dry, got my tent up. It was like impossible, and I was laying there, it's still like kind of light out, and I was like, "Where are these guys?" Like I can't. I knew they were a little bit further ahead, but I kept hearing voices, which was very weird. Like voices of people,
Right.
but there was no one around me. Like at one point, I like got up and was like, "Hey, who's that? Like
Yeah. Like,
anybody here?" No, there was no one. I got out of the tent, stood in the
yeah.
rain, and looked around. There was no other tents. So it was like I kept hearing these faint voices the whole night. It was very weird. And
Yeah.
then
Oh,
when I woke up in the morning, there was like I had like put my tent near someone made like a makeshift grave for like their dog or
oh,
something
no.
like that. Yeah, it was very weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it though.
Yeah.
That was very strange. That was my most like harrowing, second most harrowing moment. The other one
Oh,
was just like lightning, just being
yeah,
scared.
totally. Yeah, we ran into like a hail. We're coming north into Lake City. Was
Yeah,
that really kind of like mesa?
yeah.
Would
And
have
then
been
you
coming
drop right down, or you would go up, I guess.
quite really high up. It's right when it's like the tallest point on the trail. So you'd have been coming up to the tallest point when
Yeah,
you were going to
yeah,
like up at like 12, 13, and you're kind of making your way down. But
yeah,
there's like probably 10, 12 mile stretch where there are just no trees, and we're like watching all the clouds roll in like over the other side of Lake City, and we're like, ah, shit.
yeah. I
We're
did
all
not like Lake City.
get us out of here because we're just like we are the tallest things for 12 miles, so we
Yeah,
pretty fast, and we like yeah we were booking it all in a little row, just cruising trying to get out of there, which was like pretty fun. And then we got down probably a couple extra 1,000 feet, and then yeah we got hit with some hail, but no lightning, which was cool. The lightning stayed away, but
yeah. Oof. I like was doing a video. It was like the third to last day heading in Durango. I was
mhm.
by myself again. I was doing a video, and I was like, "See that? That you can see the weather over there. Colorado's so weird. It's like it is. There's a thunder and lightning storm way off over there." And like then I like put my phone away. I walked again. I was like, "Shit, it's coming this way." I mean, it was way off. It was probably 20 miles off. And then
Yeah.
like I had my phone out again, and I'm like, "Uh, it seems like it's getting a little closer now."
Yep.
So, and then I mean, again, like then I was like, I'm in it. It's coming. I gotta go. I was running. I was running.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Totally.
And everyone again, like I was always last, so like everyone was way ahead of me. I knew where they were camping,
Oh,
but
that's
I mean, I had never like I was straight up running because I was on a peak
totally, yeah. You got, yeah.
above tree line. Is there any other questions in here we should be answering?
I haven't seen many. There was one question about something in December, but we both hiked. Well, Luke hiked in 2020, and then I hiked the Colorado Trail just this last fall, so September through
Right.
October. So
That's
luckily,
crazy that you did it then. That's really crazy.
yeah, it was so beautiful though to hike it in the fall because we just watched the aspens turn the whole.
Yeah.
So everything is golden, and you're walking through these incredible aspen forests.
Yeah.
Everything this color, like it
I
was.
would say I would not. I mean, I would recommend hiking in Colorado. I don't know if I would recommend through hiking because I mean that's like danger. That could turn into like a blizzard at any time in those time that time of year. I
Yeah,
mean, you're
so we were keeping our eye on it, and
yeah,
wake up to some snow. Like, yeah, you wake up to some snow, but also, we knew it was coming. We're like,
Yeah, yeah.
there's always going to be the possibility of waking up to a lot of snow. But the cool
Right.
thing I noticed, at least, compared to the PCT, was that the Colorado Trail has so many bailout points. Like, if you really got into, some kind of trail,
Yeah.
very easy to find your way out. There are very few sections where it's really that remote where you couldn't like find your way out in an hour or two.
Right. Yeah, you could probably. Yeah, I agree with that, I guess.
Like I just noticed there were way more like road crossings or like ATV roads or like
Yeah,
places.
there's like Forest Service roads and things like that you could like, but still, like that would take you like quite a bit of time.
It would definitely take you some time, and you'd have to.
It's not like you walk 300 feet down and you're
No,
on a highway.
yeah, but there was
Yeah.
we were I think maybe a week or 10 days into the trail, and we'd done San Luis Peak, which is like a 14er on the
Yep.
trail, slightly off the trail, and uh, that was the day that we found out the PCT had like kind of reopened in Southern California, because everyone got a 14er and went, "Ooh, I have cell phone service up here." Oh, that's
You're
like,
like,
yep.
oh, let's go back.
And there were 4 people out of the 8 of us that were on top of that mountain that were just like, "Cool, bye, I'm out of here," and they immediately left and went like
Oh,
3
really?
out road and just hitched. Like that was it. They were like, "Okay, bye, we're gonna go find our way to California." So,
Did they end up finishing the PCT or?
and then they went and did SoCal for the PCT. Actually, some of them even went and did some of the Sierra section, because they were still semi early enough. It was like it was pushing it, which is why I was like, I don't need to run the rest of the PCT. I'll just
No, you might as well enjoy that experience.
seemed like a lot more fun than like trying to,
Yeah.
mishmash this little like PCT adventure together. So,
Now, do you want to try to are you going to try to get out there again?
oh, jeez Louise, what a pain in my ass. But yes, I do want to finish California.
Yeah.
Just, just to say you did it. But at this point, I'm gonna give the world a break because I think if I try
Yeah.
something terrible will happen. A little curve.
It's so tricky.
Always
Everything's tricky.
that can go all of California set on fire. Like if I try a third time, I don't know, what is it, like pestilence?
Yeah. Well, I mean, my friend Rabbit, she's a from ground hiker, like has done like incredible hikes everywhere. She couldn't finish the Colorado Trail for years because like things just happened every time she went out there. It was like, oh, someone got sick or, she got an injury or whatever. And she could do 500 miles in like 10 days if she wanted.
Yeah, it's so
But
frustrating. Like just so far outside of your control. Like there's no universe where I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna
yeah,
have to stop doing the PCT because there's going to be a pandemic. Like,
yeah, that
I
was
guess
heartbreaking.
I have to adjust for, but like this was a terrible fire year. Like they shut down all of the national forests. Again,
Yeah.
not put in your plans. So that was interesting.
What was your original 2020 start date? Do you remember?
March 7th.
March
It was
7th. So
early. So I was out there and I was like, there were very, very few people out there.
yeah, you had to bail. I remember that.
Yeah.
God, that is very early too.
Yeah. So it was rainy and snowy and wet. So very much not the PCT I was anticipating, but like, you just go when you get it right. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
The
I'm sick.
I had like the
Or were you able?
perfect start date. I was like April 13th.
Ah, nice. Right
Oh,
in
I
the
got so screwed.
dang.
I
You
just
got
can't see. I can't see though, like me being able to figure out like 6 months off of my life again.
right.
That's the troubling part.
It just gets hard. That's a big chunk of time to take off. And when you like
Yeah,
it once and then you arrange it twice and then you're like, okay, I don't know. Is it worth it
yeah.
through all the pain of organizing it, not just the pain of hiking it?
I think there's a lot of like smaller trails like that are 500 miles or less that are more like doable for like life goals.
Take a month off, go do a cool thing.
Yeah, yeah. Or like, you're close to like you could finish section hiking the PCT in a couple of years if you could take a few weeks here or there.
Yeah.
That'd be a good accomplishment.
Yeah, right? Then it'd just be, these long ass sections.
Yeah, yeah. I know. The
Yeah,
old lash. So
exactly.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's hard to sort of like figure out. I mean, like, I for the life of me cannot figure out how people just go like, I'm on the AT, and then I'm on the PCT the next year, and then I'm on the CDT. Like, I don't get it. I don't get how you like make enough money in between the 3 months or 4 months you have off.
Yep.
Like,
It's a priorities game, I think, because people can ask that question at any stage. I get that question a lot, like, oh, what do you do? Who pays for your stuff? Like, how do you afford it? Well, you make sacrifices and you prioritize. So, like, yeah, if you're cool with living
yeah,
bedroom in someone's house and you pay, $500 for rent a month, and then you spend all the time working, and then you go do your hikes, like, those things are feasible. If you or like a house or a mortgage, it's up.
yeah,
So, like,
yeah,
I think, yeah. Some people just love the dirtbag lifestyle, and they live.
yeah, and more power to them. I mean, if that's what they want to do with their lives, like, go for it. But
Yeah, yeah.
I think for me, I'm like also at an age. I just turned 40, and like I'm at an age where it's like he can't mess around with these middle years anymore. You know, it's like
Yeah,
before I know it, I'll be 60, and then like be like,
yeah,
what a you can't you
right,
can't pay for the nursing home with
right.
experiences.
Hanging out with your roommates, and yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Like,
mean,
oh no, let's get a couple roommates, and then we'll get one nurse to take care of all of
yeah,
us.
right. I'm sure there are ways, life.
Oh God, yeah,
Some,
no, but yeah, just I don't know. I'll figure maybe at some point in my life, I'll like when I'm withering away, I'll slowly wander up to PCT. But
yeah,
yeah,
just
yeah, whatever. It's also like a weird age. I don't. Are you in your 20s?
no. I'm 32.
Yeah, you're 32. So you're kind of getting in that spot where it's like a little bit of a weird age too. Like
Yeah.
just in terms of like when I started doing like through hiking, I was a 33, let's say,
Hmm.
and or like longer trails anyway. And it's you fit into this weird demographic of like I'm too old for the young kids, I'm too young for the old people. So
Mm,
like you find yourself, and maybe you didn't because you're very youthful, but I found myself like in um, this super weird like middle ground. Um, that and I loved, I ended up being I always date towards the younger people, right?
mhm.
Which is good because it kind of pushes me a little bit harder and things like that. But yeah, like there's also like a bit of like a life gap experience I found, you
Totally.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. I was really actually surprised. So when I went, when I went northbound, there was hardly anyone out there. So I don't feel like I have a proper sample size. But going southbound, just like most of the PCT southbounders were, I would say, between 30 and 40. Like there were very few people in their 20s doing it, or
Right.
actually early 20s. So it was really cool. There were a
That
lot of
is cool.
age category, which was like, I was surprised by it. I thought, like I like you said, I'm going to be in that weird middle ground. But most of the people I met were between 30 and 40, which was pretty cool. Um, yeah, so that
That's I mean that's crazy because I feel like I hardly meet people like that.
yeah, yeah, you got to go southbound. That's where the weird 30s hang out, I guess.
Those guys got to wait till the end of the summer to quit their jobs, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
Yeah, it's crazy. I do think that there's a different culture. The southbound culture is a little different.
yeah, I found so. There's a lot less partying, I've noticed.
Yeah,
Well, we hit the northbound bubble, and all of a sudden we're like, oh my God, what is happening? Like, we have
right.
this little, like, calm group of people, and then you, like, smack right into this 100-person group of nobos, and you're like, oh my God, like, what is happening?
Right.
Everyone
Yeah.
drunk. uh, yeah, it
I mean,
was
you're lucky.
a
You're
job.
you're so lucky. I know you didn't cross over the bubble at all, did you?
Oh,
Probably
yeah.
not. Oh, you
Yeah,
did.
Southern
Yeah.
Oregon, because because the Nobos all got crunched together because they all skipped like this big, most of them, not all of them, skipped this big section of NorCal because it was on fire. So all of a sudden, they all showed up in Southern Oregon at the same time. Like, ugh! Like people were counting like passing like 100 Nobos a day, and I was like, oh my God, please go away.
I mean, it's a lot. I actually went out with Appalachian Gear Company to PCT days. I was doing some photo work for them, and we were at Cascade Locks, and oh man, that was like a lot. I was like more hikers than I ever want to be around, I think.
Yeah, it's like I think fun in small doses. If I had to do the whole trail like that, I think I would burn out. I can't party that. especially like party hike, party hike, party. I don't know how people do it. I truly don't.
I mean, these guys, like, I mean, maybe because I wasn't part of it, like, I wasn't part of that bubble, that I was kind of over it very quickly. I was like, oh, all of you just seem like you have like no life goals, you know? But but no, like what the thing that I getting at oh, okay. If I didn't know that my family wasn't all watching this right now, I'd probably tell you this. I'll tell you.
Do it. Do
So
it.
I don't know if you've heard this rumor, but there was like a COVID outbreak within that bubble.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Do you,
PC came out like
do you,
an about
do
it.
you know how it started?
A party in Ashland.
Yeah, but it was a bit of an orgy.
Oh God.
It was a bit of an orgy that happened, and COVID broke out.
Oh no. Yeah, we just all came up with the saying of, usually it's never trust an oboe. We changed it to never touch an oboe.
Oof.
We're
I
like,
mean it.
nope, they all have COVID. Leave us alone.
It's just nasty.
Yeah. So that
Yeah,
was
but they were like coming up like, oh, we might have COVID. I'm like, what are you doing here?
yeah,
You
why?
can leave.
Yeah. I passed a couple on the trail and they like went really far around me and I was like, oh, like, whatever, like, what's up? And they're like, no. We're social distancing. We're isolating because we might have COVID. And I was like, what the hell are you doing out here?
Maybe they were part of the orgy.
Probably. It was very close to that. It's
Never
close,
know.
probably. But yeah, that was odd. It was just, strange choices.
It's
Yeah.
very weird, like in those situations. First of all, Oregon was very beautiful. You got to hike all of it, right?
Yeah, Oregon was stunning. I think people like, I don't know. I think when you go northbound, maybe that's the part where people just like get depression or something because everyone always shits on Oregon, but it's so pretty. Like there's so many
Yeah,
lakes, lava rocks, and that whole section like south of Mackenzie Pass that's like, yeah, volcanic rock and obsidian, and it's so beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, but everyone
I,
like just shin splints and sadness.
yeah, I mean, you just finished NorCal at that point, so it's like it's probably nice to get into something new. But or wait, most people finish NorCal. You just finished Washington,
Which
right? Washington's bonkers, huh?
Washington's so hard. I mean, so beautiful, but like, what a way to start.
You know, my parents went on their honeymoon in the North Cascades backpacking.
Wait, what?
That's what my parents like their honeymoon. They went backpacking in the North Cascades for
Oh,
like
wow,
10 days. Yeah, like in 44 years ago.
so pretty. Yeah, it's beautiful out there. The Glacier Peak Wilderness, stunning, so stunning.
Yeah.
That was one of my
Oh,
favorites, I think, of the PCT.
I think if I was going to do a section, I'd want to do Washington. I think
I would agree. Yeah, it's really pretty.
because I've done plenty. I lived in LA for 11 and a half years. I've done plenty of hiking in that desert stuff, and it's great too. But it's also like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The desert is beautiful. It has its own charms, and also Washington is gorgeous, and there's
yeah.
water, so that's really nice.
I mean, in Arizona, I was down near the Arizona Trail last month.
Hmm.
Man, I mean, everything in Arizona is a pokey boy. Like everything wants to stick in you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nuts. It's nuts.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know how a inflatable sleeping pad would make it through the AZT,
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I looked
but
at problems with my sleeping pad, but I know multiple people who were, yeah, having a very tough time with their inflatable sleep systems. But actually, I don't think I had a single gear failure for the whole time.
oh, really?
Yeah, on the PCT or the CT. I guess my backpack, but that wasn't its fault. I lost too much weight, so the hip belt wouldn't close anymore. Like it was so loose, it wouldn't tighten any further. So
Oh,
so I just switched
I
back.
wish I had that problem.
Yeah. So I had to like run into the REI and get a backpack that had a tighter hip belt. Yeah.
Oh, I see my cousins are in here. All my cousins are in here
Oh, nice.
commenting. So Abby Parda, Jen Parda, Ryan Gilman. Yep, those are my people. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
with them
Oh,
tomorrow,
nice.
actually, going to Minnesota.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Years in the North Cascades. That's awesome. That's a long time. That's very. I was married to
so
a Canadian once.
you
Out. Just reading the comments. Sorry, boss, I guess. I don't know.
No, I think that if anyone dropped a comment on you, there's a little question mark box. Hit that and see if anyone has a question. Should be on the bottom of your screen, maybe.
Oh, Hiker Royalty wants to know if it was difficult for you to shave your beard.
Oh, I did an A or B beard
Yep,
question today.
voted. I
Anyone that's watching should just go vote.
hmm?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I could go big beard again sometime soon.
Yeah.
It's a little unsightly though, you know.
I think if it's not a trail beard, you could,
Yeah, trim shape it.
well, yeah, yeah.
See, I feel like it's either
Oh,
one
just
way or the other.
crazy.
It does like tend to grow out the sides. It's
Hmm.
like quite bushy. So I don't know. There's like a time and a place for all that. Like I've
Totally.
looked back at I've looked back at photos from like adventures that I've had, and like I always like grow my hair weird. And I look at those photos and I'm like, it would have been nice if you just got a haircut, you know?
Yeah, it's part of the fun though, right? My
Yeah,
hair turned
did you
weird.
grow your beard out?
I had very long leg hair.
That's sweet, super fun.
Nice. It was actually funny. There was a time like the first time it got long enough where I could feel the wind in my leg hair, and I was like, "Oh, that was a very weird feeling." I thought there was a bug on my leg.
Cool.
Nope, it's the wind.
Oh wow, that's wonderful.
It's never been like full
Was
grown.
it blue as well?
It was not. Sadly,
Hmm.
I this is not natural.
Oh, look at that. It's kind of growing back in,
I
huh?
know I'm getting it done on Saturdays, so we'll be root free.
What's the maintenance on that kind of hair?
Um, every 6 weeks I go get the roots done. So they bleach out the roots, and then I usually change the color. But it's been blue for a few months now because it's actually.
Wow, you're so fancy.
Oh yeah, I know. I do leave the like coloring to the professionals. I wouldn't want to bleach my own hair. I feel like I would just get real.
Did you have your hair in a color when you were hiking? I can't even remember.
It was purple when it started, and then it sort of faded into blue and green and sort of strange away as it grew out like 4 inches.
Mm.
Yeah, it was a good look. Yeah.
Did you meet any people on the trail that you had like known through social media or anything like that? That happened to you at all?
Uh, yeah. I'd say maybe like a dozen times where I was stopped by people on the trail and they were like, "Hey, you're that girl from YouTube." Or like, "Oh, I follow you."
Oh,
And of course, my trail family would give me all kinds of shit for it. They're like, "Oh, the celebrity." I'm like, "Shut up, shut up, shut up." Because I
yeah. I mean,
trek the first time I did it. So I had, like a fairly decent following on there. And then I was vlogging this
yeah,
year and the TikTok thing. And so, yeah, there
yeah.
were, there were a handful of people who were like, "I know you." I'm like, "I don't know you."
Very weird. Very weird. Yeah. That happened to me once on the Colorado Trail. Like someone said, like someone ran into. Well, it happened two times, I guess. Someone ran into me and was uh, like, do you know like Luke Pearsall's on the trail somewhere around here? I'm like, I am Luke Pearsall.
Ah, that's so
It was
weird.
like very weird. It was very weird, and I guess he knew me. I mean, from social media stuff. I was a little heavier into like daily content and gear reviews and things like that for a while. But yeah, so he did that, and then like he told some trail angel, like, oh no, this is a story. Um, Two of my buddies in my trail family were ahead of me, like I don't know, by like 2 miles, and they're like they kind of didn't know that like I had a little bit of a presence on social media and things like that. Even though they saw like the Instagram number or whatever. But they went up and like camped with a trail angel for a night, and some kid came in like, "Oh my god! Like I just met like Luke Pearsall at like just a couple miles back down there. It was like so cool or whatever." Like he said, I did a project on his work in college, and I was like,
What?
"What?"
Oh, you got a super fan.
He's like, "Yeah, I did a presentation on his work and like his." I was like, "Okay, well, good to know that I'm
Yeah,
reaching this
cool.
collegiate level."
That's so funny. Well, look at
Yeah,
you.
but that was. I've been in the game. I've been in the game a while, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Uh,
saw on Instagram it said like my account was started in January of 2009.
mm-hmm.
It's a long time.
That is a long time.
Yeah.
Time.
Do you got any other questions?
Yeah, so I think someone wants to know about food and snacks on the trail.
Let's
Did
talk about it.
yeah, have anything
I'm
in
always ready.
ramen?
Have you ever had
Ah,
these?
simple
Free,
kitchen.
freeze dried cookie bites.
What? That's cool. Are they like
Yeah, that's
eight?
pretty good. Well, when you get to this level, people just
Oh,
send you this stuff, you know?
yeah, right. Well,
Yeah, I mean, what else?
all
I
with
could send you a few
followers.
bags.
Nice.
These are freeze dried beets with
Oh,
ginger.
I love beets.
Yeah, they taste a little bit like ginger dirt, but
Yeah,
they're
but
good.
that's the vibe with beets. It's a little
Yeah,
bit like, but
I'm gonna
like
celebrate with some right now.
yeah, nice. Big
What
money, big ad.
was that? Big money? What did she say?
Oh, someone said big money influencer. Look at you go.
Yeah, make $0 off
Yeah,
this.
right. Oh, but you got free snacks. Come on.
Free snacks. Oh, I've done some like when
Uh,
you like because I'm a photographer, I work with brands and then this stuff like
oh yeah.
collects. Well, it was very beady. Ooh.
Ooh.
Mm. I mean,
Uh,
very delicious.
yeah, super delicious. I don't think I had anything like really exciting that I ate on trail. It was a lot of ramen and potatoes and Lara bars, and
Did you have like a
uh,
go-to snack?
um,
No, like there's something like all right for me. I
yeah,
would grab like a log of. Are you vegetarian?
no,
Okay, I don't want to offend anybody, but I would grab like a log of salami,
nice.
literally like hard salami in every store. And for some reason, maybe because like we just like weren't getting enough calories, I would like crave like just getting a chunk of that with like a hard cheese, like Parmesan
Yeah.
cheese is all sweaty.
I got one of those. It's like Dubliner cheese,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah, yum.
really good cheese. So I had that on like the last 2 weeks of the Colorado Trail, and that was so good because the Colorado
Yeah,
at elevation for the first 3 days or 4 days, I was starving. I like because I packed, I'd just come off of the
yeah. You
PCT.
already had hiker hunger.
I was at the PCT, and I was like, oh, I got this dialed in, no big deal. And the first 3 days, like our whole group, we were starving. All of us like were on our last bar by the time we got to our first town. We were like, oh. So I was really, really surprised by how much the elevation changed the output, like how many
Heck yeah.
to put into my body, and I was like, oh crap. And then the week later, then the elevation starts to get to you and you're like, I don't want to eat anything, food is disgusting. So it was a
Yep.
very weird ride with food on the
Yeah,
Colorado.
I mean, I lost 55 pounds.
Dang,
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
that's a big jump.
It was a big jump. It wasn't a great jump. Well, I mean, it was a great jump, but it happened because I get altitude sickness over like 11,500 feet. So like I was just throwing up all the time.
Oh no.
And yeah, I had no appetite. Like it took a while because like you were coming from the PCT, so you already like sort of had hiker hunger.
So that's
And
how we were like, oh, we're hot, we're cool, Will's would be no big deal. And then it was hard.
yeah, I think I mean I hiked on the PCT, but like in comparison, Colorado Trail's a beast.
Yeah,
At
it's
least in my book, I'm like,
very challenging, and it's steeper. Like the grading is much steeper than the PCT was. Even like Washington is steep, but Colorado, they're like switchback. What's a switchback? We never heard of that.
yeah. I mean, Jeff, who is the Colorado Trail through hiking FKT holder,
Yeah,
um, he was like the Colorado Trails is like way harder than the
it's like,
PCT in terms of elevation and just ruggedness.
totally. And just the amount of time you spend above tree line, totally exposed in the elements, in the wind, in the sun. It's yeah, it's very tiring.
Yeah, I'm sort of glad that I did like a very challenging long trail instead of like I don't know. I like that I did something hard first.
Yeah,
Well, it's not first, but
yeah,
did something hard.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know, but it just makes everything else feel
yeah,
easier. Not that
yeah,
anything's easy, but
yeah. You sort of jumped into the deep end, and now you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I can,
yeah.
yeah.
And I had done like 500-mile hike before, but it was easy.
Which
Um, Camino de Santiago.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. With the the albergues and the wine.
Yeah, so fun. Amazing. I think everybody should do it in their life.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to do it this summer with my mom, but she might have to cancel on me. 'Cause she's got visa issues. She's waiting on a PR.
Uh,
Oh, they make you stay in one country, so we might have to reschedule that. But yeah, that's on my list of like fun long hikes to do.
yeah, and it's the way I always explain it is like it's more of a cultural experience and like a wilderness experience. Because like
Yeah.
you don't have to bring a tent, you don't have to bring a sleeping bag. I didn't even bring a sleeping bag.
Oh really?
No, or a quilt. I bought a sleeping bag liner, and that's all I used.
Nice.
A silk sleeping bag liner.
Yeah, you could really go ultralight on that.
Oh, I mean, you wouldn't really need anything. You could have like a 2.5 pound base weight if you want.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
But back then, I was like working on a photo project, and I carried a backpack inside my
Full of
backpack with
camera gear and stuff.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
was. I mean, it was like fairly heavy for that reason, but
I mean, a camera in general is like 2 or 3 pounds. Like that's about up. You need
yeah.
two
I mean,
extra. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think like even with just like a single lens and a camera body, you're adding like 5.5, 6 pounds.
Yep.
If it's like a pro camera, not a little guy. But
Yep.
yeah, it was. I got sponsored by Sony on that trip, and I dropped one of the. I mean, I dropped one of their lenses, and it
Oof.
just like rolled. I watched like a $2,500 lens just like roll into eternity.
Oh no, like that scene in Wild where Reese Witherspoon watches her
Yeah,
mountain.
I mean, I'd never seen Wild, but
Oh
I imagine it was very similar.
yeah, it's
I
got
did do a movie with Reese Witherspoon once.
hmm?
I did a movie with her once.
Nice. What was that?
What was the name of it? Can't even remember. What was the name of it? I have to look it up.
I don't know. All right, you tell me later.
It's very weird that I'm forgetting. Like I spent a considerable amount of time in my life doing this movie. I can't remember.
I
I'll
don't
have to
know.
look it up.
Yeah. Anyway, shout out to Reese.
Yeah. Yeah, Reese. Hey, you want to come hiking?
Yeah.
Speaking of cryptocurrency now.
Oh. Oh God.
Yeah, aren't we all?
Yeah.
I that's where my PC hiking money went and got invested in cryptocurrency. So
Ah, was it worth it?
yeah, we're gonna see. We could probably do like 3 or 4 hikes now.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah.
Lauren,
But
you're better looking than this guy. Oh my God. That's my dad.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing.
Hi, Dad.
Where are these? Where? Oh, was that in the questions thing?
That's the
If,
top.
if anybody has a question right now, just hit
Yeah,
that little question button on the bottom, drop it in there, and we'll answer it.
about the
I'll
Colorado.
answer anything. I'll answer questions from
Yeah,
Lauren's dad.
yeah, right.
I mean, I feel like I know him. I've seen pictures, seen videos
Yep.
on the gram. You were in San Diego for a little while after you got off the trail, right?
San Clemente, but yeah,
San Clemente, yeah.
yeah,
All
that's
right.
where my mom and my stepdad live.
Okay.
Yeah, so I hung out with them while I was like, where do I go?
Yeah. What am I doing?
In a tent.
In a tent. I'm gonna just leaf back through the. Abby Peter Pants, my cousin Peter Pants. That's what
Nice.
really putting on a good family show here tonight.
Yeah.
I
Loved up.
can't scroll through these comments for some. Oh, there we go.
Tell them you're feuding. Hmm. Hi from Indonesia. Cool.
Indonesia. I'd love to go to Indo. I feel
I've been
like
to Bali. I did a yoga teacher training there in like 2013.
Oh, what do you do? What do you do? Like,
I do.
what do you do? Yeah, it's your thing.
Right now I'm actually in film school, so I just like quit
Ugh.
film school. So that's super fun. So I'm doing that
You
until
quit film school or no?
Hmm?
You quit film school?
No, I quit my like job and I am in film school.
Oh, oh
And,
wow.
yeah,
Okay. What do you want to do in film?
probably just make outdoor adventure movies and documentaries.
All right, I'm going to give you some advice right now.
Excellent.
Quit
Do it.
film school.
Quit film school. It's only for another
You,
year.
you don't need it to make outdoor documentaries.
I know. Um,
But I like that you value education,
yeah.
you know. I just got sent a picture from my cousin
Hmm.
of maybe 6 people in a room that are all on their phones watching this right now, I guess.
Yeah.
Very, very, I'm glad we're being quasi entertaining.
Nice. Oh, good. Any bad trail magic experiences? Ooh. Um, I don't think I have had any bad trail magic experiences.
Yeah, nothing but good ones. But I did have one as a trail angel. I had a bad one.
Oh, what happened?
This summer, I went back to the Colorado Trail, like word CDT Colorado Trail,
Yeah.
to do trail magic, and I don't know, I just felt like a little like jaded by the experience. Yeah, I felt like the hikers were like really selfish, like not selfish. Mm, I feel like they, yeah, a little entitled, and I feel like they're being spoiled because they had a ton of trail magic. Like, I wasn't too far out of Denver, but I guess they're like, this is like our fourth trail magic in 5 days. I was like,
Oh.
way to take the magic out of it, the trail
Yeah.
magic, you know?
Like, that was just like trail room service. I don't know.
Yeah, and I like huffed all this stuff down the trail to like a beautiful spot where
Oh,
everyone would hang out. Like, I mean, griddles and tables and chairs
it
and
went all out.
coolers. Yeah, yeah, went all out. Spent a lot of money on it too. Um, and like we cooked like pancakes and quesadillas and hot dogs and all sorts of stuff, you know. And there was one guy it was an older gentleman that came through, and he was like resupplying out of the trail magic stuff, and I was like, he was
No.
like, these are really good. Like we had like the nori, like
Yeah. Ooh, those are
things that
good.
were good. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're really good. And he like ate one while he was there, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have another." I was like, "Yeah, no problem, man. Whatever you want." And then when he was leaving, he's like, "I'm gonna take a few more of these for down the road. These are really good." I was like,
It's not really how this works, dude.
like you kind of want to be, you don't want to be the dude that's like not chill with everybody and like
Yeah.
welcoming, but
But
it was
yeah.
it was a little odd. And then there's like the occasional person that like drinks too many of the beers, like
Mm.
just gets a little wasted, which like I don't care. Grown-ups can drink whatever they want to drink and it's there for them, but like
Yeah,
I don't
but
know, it got like a little sloppy.
uh, that's too bad. Huh.
Yeah, and it wasn't like it's never like the dude that you're like, oh, I want you to hang out and like
Right. Like, come
talk.
here. Come
Yeah,
chill.
this guy was just like a
Like,
raging
yeah.
drunk.
The person who's not picking up on the social cues that you're like, okay.
Yeah, this guy's like the kind of guy that was like, oh good, I ran out of my last beer like 4 miles back.
You're like, cool.
Yeah, like straight up drying out style.
Yikes.
But
Mm.
yeah.
I had
um
magic a couple of times. Maybe I'd say like 3, maybe 4 times. Not on the like out of the PCT and the Colorado Trail. So out of the like 4 months I was out there, it was maybe like once a month we'd run into somebody.
yeah,
But it
that
was
doesn't seem like a lot.
Hmm?
That seems like irregular. I feel like you would hit it more.
Yeah, like going southbound, there's just like the Novo bubble hasn't come, so like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
no one cares about us poor Sobos. Wham wham. And then Colorado Trail, we were so late in the season that no one was really doing it.
Right.
Did run into these 2 women that had like a really cool kitted out van, and they were making burgers and salads for everyone, and they were super nice. We kind of hung out, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do it again tomorrow." And I was like, "Oh dang, well we'll miss you. We'll be up trail." And she's like, "Well, where are you guys gonna camp?" I'm like, "Oh, probably around here." She's like, "Oh well, I mean, we could just go set up there." And I was like, "Okay, I mean, cool, great." So
See
we
you
like
there.
hiking and got there at dark because it was, I mean, it was another 17 miles away, and we started hiking at like
Yeah,
3 o'clock because we got trapped in the trail magic
yeah,
vortex. So we
yeah.
roll up at 10 o'clock at night, and their van is parked right there where we're planning to camp. And then we had all our headlamps on, like trying not to wake them up. And they come out, they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, hey, it's me." And they're like, "Lauren." I'm like, "Yeah." So they
They
invite
like cook for you then?
or salad. We hung out in their van, and then we like all camped there together. So that was super fun.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
like Colorado Trail didn't have too much trail magic the year I did it. Maybe it's because COVID or whatever, but
maybe yeah. It was yeah, and then like a dude that was like had bike packed the trail like the year prior had come and he just like set up his car and was handing out snacks and like sparkling water and stuff, and that was cool. But I think that was it. I think it was just the two on Colorado Trail.
we ran into one guy similar. He had bike packed it and like got injured and had to get off. He was a pilot. And he was like randomly he packed into like some stupid weird place and he was like cooking pancakes for everyone on like a little stove.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh yeah, I was just out here just like tripping on mushrooms for like the past 3 days, and you're just like, all right, man, as long as you're having fun.
Cool. I mean, it's probably
Yeah,
not to do it, but yeah, you do you.
yeah, yeah. So that was one, and then like the other one was just like some photographer that had hiked the trail before, and he was just like, I just want to get back, whatever. He had a nice setup, but um, that was right near Lake City too, I think.
Okay, nice. I liked Lake City. It was really cute.
Oh, I was big on Lake City.
Like, oh, we had like there's live music and everyone was real nice. It's weird because it's like only Texans that live there for whatever reason.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the occasional weird vibes, but it was really beautiful and we didn't run into anybody that weird. So that was cool.
Yeah, we just found it like very difficult. Like we didn't find accommodation anywhere, and like
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was actually, yeah, I had like Garmined my mom like 3 days before and I was like, yo, can you try and find us somewhere to stay? And like
yeah,
packed six of us into like one hotel room or like
yeah.
motel.
We hitched all the way to Gunnison, which is
Oh,
like 60 miles
yeah.
to go back to the hostel there that we had stayed at like a week earlier.
Yeah.
Had a great time, but
Okay. Yeah.
it's a long way to hitch and then
Hitch.
try to get back. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
It's hard enough to get out into Lake City, I found. That was a hard hitch.
yeah, that was tough.
Because, yeah.
That was the longest I waited in
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah, we almost gave up and we're like, ugh, I don't know what to do. But it's
Were
like
you?
miles to walk it, so it's not a fun road walk. I think it's like
How many people were in your group on average?
uh, there were about 8 of us, more or less, that kind of started together, and then like a week in or 10 days in, about like half of them left, and then by the end,
Right.
there were only 3 of us left that started together. There were 8 or 10 of us, maybe 10 of us that started, and by the end, there were only 3 of us that finished it. Uh,
That's a little bit easier of a hitch.
just kind of like they got tired of it, or they're like, no, this isn't the PCT, or they're like, my friend Piglet like broke a bone in her foot and she'd been hiking on it for 500 miles and was finally like, this is enough. I don't want to hike on this anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't didn't
Wow.
keep the whole crew. There were only a handful of us at the end.
Yeah, I mean, hitching was hard at a certain point because we had like at one point there was like 6 or 7 of us,
Yeah.
and unless there was a pickup truck, like we weren't getting anywhere in one shot.
Yeah. Yeah, then you got to split your group up. We managed to stop 2 cars at one time once. They organized us all. We really like gotten one to stop, and there were 6 of us, I think, and we're like, yes, finally. Like some of us are gonna go, and then the other car pulled over, and they're like, do you guys need things? And we're like, oh, I mean, do you want to give us a hitch? And they're
Yeah,
like, so then they're like rearranging everyone for us, and like, you go over here, you go over here, and I was like, this is great. I feel like I'm
yeah.
chauffeured. This is awesome. Yeah. So
I mean,
that was after like an hour of like sitting with our thumbs out. So that was
yeah, it's always like very like degrading when people are like, nah, or they honk at you like, all right, go get them.
and you're like, why? Or they'll wave at you. I'm like, that's not what this is. Don't wave at me. Just pretend you don't see me if you're gonna play that game.
It's not a parade.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all we're asking is that you pick up someone who looks like a mildly vagrant person, put him in your car unknowingly, and drive him down the road.
Gary, come on, come on. Yeah. No, I did get a
Uh,
motorcycle once. That was pretty cool.
that's like a bucket list hitch.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, "Okay,
Wow.
guys later."
The only other like weird hitching story that I have is like all the boys that I was hiking with, like they'd always finish like probably an hour or close to it ahead of me. So they were like trying to hitch into Gunnison. I get out there, I'm like, oh, they're already gone. But they had just like walked down the road to find a new spot. And I put my thumb out for like 1 second. Some guy pulls over and he was moving from one town to another, and he only had room for one person, but he had like a big truck,
Nice.
and like he was like, "Come on in." So I was like, "I don't know, these guys left. I'm getting in." But like 300 yards down the road, they're like sitting there with their thumbs out, and I was like, "See you,
Oh,
boys."
no, guys, sorry. See you in
But they,
town.
I mean, like I felt bad, but like there's
But like,
nothing
what?
you could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said like, "Hey, is there any way we could like try to squeeze one or two of them in here?" You're like, "Dude, I'm already like maxing out with you in here," and then you feel bad because you're like, "Those are my
Right.
boys. Like they're sitting on the side of the road."
Yep.
But I was able to get there and secure the hostel beds.
Uh,
So
yeah. Yeah. Get some snacks or some beers for when they show up, and then you're good.
exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
those hostel days were great days. I don't know if you went into any of them at all, but there were some good zeros on the
Nice.
Colorado Trail.
We took a zero in Silverton and we took a zero in Leadville. But there were always so many of us that we all usually ended up like getting a hotel room and just all like cramming in there, or like a motel room. Or in Leadville, we actually rented an Airbnb because there were still like
Um,
6 or 8 of us at that point, and like a couple people who had like left the trail but were just in Denver like came out and met us, so we all just like crashed in it
right.
together. So it was nice. That was the one good thing about having like a big group, is you can all just kind of go in together.
Yeah.
Because the hostels are like $40 a night, but you get a hotel room and it's like $200 a night, and so it's way cheaper for the 6 of us to get a motel room than it is to like each individually go to the hostel. So
Yeah. I mean, I always think about that too. Like it would be cheaper, but I don't know. There's something about the hostels too that like they're
they've got a vibe, like Raven's Rest or something. That one's cool. And
yeah. We stayed at the Monarch Butterfly Hostel, Monarch
oh,
Pass, and it was
that's cool. I've heard good things about.
we were the first guys to ever come through. Like he literally, like the guy owned another building. He's like, I think I'll make this a hostel, and like put up a sign. And we like, I was gonna cross like a river somewhere, and the boys had like put like a note up on the post to the bridge, and we're like, hey, turn left here and walk down the road. We're going to this hostel. I was like, all right, I guess I was walk down this road for 2 miles, and yeah, it was fun. The guy was like, yeah. I mean, the owner's like, just trying this out, see if it works. We're right on the Colorado Trail and CDT, so and it
Nice.
was awesome. It was
Yeah,
such a good place.
that's really cool.
And now it's become like very popular on the CDT because there's nothing there otherwise.
Nice.
You'd
Is
have
that
to go into Salida.
that's the one where they have like little signs on the trail, like kind of
They
hidden?
must now. I don't know if they,
It's like
they,
miles to Butterfly House or whatever it's called.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Butterfly House. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
These like, rocks that are painted with like "Go this way."
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah, like little like advertisements on the trail almost.
Oh, geez.
You
I
know,
don't know if that's good or bad thing, but yeah,
can't decide. It's like kind of cute and also
it's like, yeah, you're not supposed to really,
yeah,
yeah. I don't know.
yeah,
I'm sure the CDT will have words about that eventually one day.
probably.
I think
Um,
it's totally legal. All right, is there any more questions?
um, yeah, I gotta wrap up here pretty quick.
Yeah.
But what do you do if you get an injury on trail? Did you ever have an injury?
Cry.
Cry, yeah, cry. Weep over your broken dreams. No.
Yeah.
I had a shin splint for like middle of Oregon, and that sucked. It was in my left shin, and it just sort of, I did like a 26-mile day, like really fast.
Ugh.
It was, by the end of it, I was like, oh no, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And the next day I woke up because I was like, oh, it's fine. I'll like massage it out, shake it off. It'll be fine. And then the next day I was like, oh, this is not good. But
Yeah.
like, I still have to hike. So I hiked like 18 miles the next day and then another like 20 to get into town. And I'm so slow. Everyone's like waiting for me. I'm like, yep, I'm just going to hobble into town. But then I got a compression sleeve,
That
uh,
helped.
ankle to knee, and gone.
Crazy.
So the compression sleeves for shin splints are the way to go. Plus, you look like a ninja because you have these cool tall socks.
It's true. I do like
But
looking like that.
yeah, the compression sleeves, that was the way to go.
Yeah, I owned them and I never had to use them. So
That's good. Yeah,
yeah,
I
that's even
had
better.
or it was not a good time. Wouldn't
Yeah,
recommend it.
yeah. I
But
mean,
having
I was only averaging probably like 20 miles a day.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Other Colorado Trail, like that's what most people were doing. At least I saw.
Yeah, yeah. Like I mean, I was doing the
Like
same amount of miles that 26-year-olds and 25-year-olds.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we for the first 2 weeks were like, oh, we're just gonna chill. We have nothing, like we don't have any deadlines. So we were doing like 15, 16.
Yeah, I mean, we did tons
Get
of
to
those too.
camp and you could have campfires. So we were just hanging out. It was really nice. And then we were like, okay, now we gotta turn on the jets. The weather's coming. So then we
Yeah, gets a
changed
little easier towards the north. Yeah,
vibes. And then it was over. Poof.
and it's done.
Yeah.
On that note, maybe that's a good stopping point.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll try this on our TikTok at some point.
Let's get me 300 more followers. I don't know how to do that, and then we'll do it on TikTok. That'll be fun.
Everyone go follow Luke on TikTok so that we can take this live stream over there as well.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, good talking to you.
Yeah, you too. This was really fun. We'll have to do it again. And thanks everyone for watching. Much appreciated for all of the good questions and the love on here. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
All right.
Awesome.
Later.
Have a good one. Bye.